sideline. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown.
I got to welcome everybody to In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Hamilton. I will be your host this evening. One live Stu Ryan Stewart, former Detroit Lion, proud Yellow Jacket, and always repping South Carolina. Shortly, I'll be joined by my man, Joe Hamilton, Georgia Tech legend. Y'all know who he is. Heisman finalist, NFL vet, and college football Hall of Famer. It's simple, y'all. Every week, we bring you straight talk on the NFL, college football, and the culture around all of those games. No fluff, no filters, just in the huddle with Joe and me, your boy, One Last Two. Let me remind you of some things real quick. As always, we got to thank God every minute of every day. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, me and Doug, my brother, big brother, Two Live Stews, and the Two Live Stews experience will take place 7 o'clock in the morning. For those who don't know, we do that every Monday and Thursday, 7 a.m. You catch us live. And if you can't catch us live on Monday and or Thursday, please understand that you can catch us whenever time allows you to do so. And we do appreciate you being here. But like I said, this evening, this is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham, and we're going to bring him to the floor and welcome him right now. Ham, what's up with you, player?
Hey, what's up, my friend? Huddle up. Huddle up. Let's huddle up, man. Let's get going. Let's rock. Because at this point right now in the season, brother, at this point, it's been outstanding. In the football season, practices, you know who's on my mind right now? Arch Manning.
Who's in your mind?
Arch Manning. Arch Manning. And we're not going to spend too much time on it, Stu, but he could not live up to what he was doing. Right. There was just no way. Right. There was just no way.
So you know what? You know what? For those who've always watched the show, let me first apologize because we had the producer, Tree Taylor, in all of her glory, pub that we would be doing the show at 9. My schedule changed. Joe was free, so we jumped on early. So this is going to be a little less. This is going to be a little less structured than it would typically be on a Wednesday at noon when we typically do In the Huddle with Joe Ham. So we'll make sure we get to some chat. We're going to be a little less scripted, even though we've got a script, but we're just going to talk and enjoy some football tonight for a little while. We probably go over an hour. There's a lot to talk about. Ain't got a lot of time, but then I will do it all again tomorrow morning with Doug on the Two Live Stews. So we're going to get into the NFL eventually. We got to talk about Georgia Tech, but since Arch Manning is on your mind right now, please continue. Let's talk about him.
Well, Stu, when you look at it, man, and you look at the footwork and you look at the work that Arch Manning put on in the offseason, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see the arm talent. I don't see the footwork in the pocket. I don't see the anticipation. And he can get there. He can get there. There is no doubt about it. But when a guy has that much accolades, when a guy has that much expectations to be a generational type talent, how do you live up to it? I mean, we've seen one guy really do it, and that's in a different sport, and that's LeBron James, right? He labeled himself the king. He came, and he lived up to all that hype. But, boy, that was a little too much. And as I look at Texas, you got an excellent play call in Sarkisian.
No question. You
got 5 stars all across the place, right? So his struggle right now, I don't quite get, and it goes back to fundamentals that he's lacking right now.
Yeah. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm your boy One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. Ham, real quick, I got your screen freezing. All right, I'm gonna take you out, put you in the green room for a second, and when I do that, go ahead and log off and see if you need to reset it and come back on. And we'll be right here waiting on you when you come back. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. The whole Arch Manning thing that Joe just mentioned, and we do appreciate y'all for being here, Stewart Media and Entertainment. The whole Arch Manning thing that Joe mentioned, I agree 100%. And I'm even going to allow some allowances briefly, okay? He knew this day was coming. His uncles and them knew this day was coming. So with Peyton and Eli both having this quarterback camp, with this being what they do, how can their nephew look this bad? I mean, and he doesn't look terrible. He's not skipping a lot of balls and overthrowing a lot of balls, but he's skipping and overthrowing balls. How can a Manning, knowing that this was the opportunity he was going to be afforded this year, and as Joe Ham comes back in, let's see if you move around, Joe. Say something to me.
Talk to me. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. That's better. Yeah, I was just saying while you were out, Joe. How can the Mannings allow Arch to look like this when you're in the green room 2 times now, Joe? Let's see. All right, how about is that the one you're using, Joe? Let's see. Because I got you on 2 screens. Y'all please bear with us. Y'all please bear with us. Y'all please bear with us. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's better, Joe. How does Arch not be prepared for this moment when not only is he a Manning and they're in the quarterback business from granddad, uncles? How does he know? How do they know that he's going to be the starter this year, and he not be prepared out there, Joe?
Well, you know what, Stu? I don't want to necessarily say he's not prepared, right? So I think he's in the film room. I think he's eating up the playbook. I think his aptitude about learning this offense he can really do. It's just that the expectations are through the roof. Okay. When you have 10 straight incompletions against a UTEP, right? Okay. So you're looking at Texas and you're looking at the expectations for a whole football team that I think we gave that team because of Arch Manning too much credit leading into the season. Okay. I mean, they were top 5. I mean, they were number 1 in the nation going into the season, and we had, or me, I can't speak for you. I had them going up to Ohio State and winning that game because I fell for the hype.
You know, I take a few wagers from time to time. Mm-hmm. I had Texas in the first game of the year, and I don't ever bet the first 2 weeks of the season. Well, until this year. But that's another story for another day. That was my first bet of the year. I had Texas, and I had nothing but confidence that Arch would be the guy I was hearing that he would be, that Texas would be the team that I was hearing they would be. So when you say our expectations was out of the roof, which they really were, because we were told for it to be that way. Everybody that does this show, all the talking heads on all the major networks, everyone that got behind the mic and behind the camera was telling us that he was going to Heisman and Texas was going to be the number 1 team deservingly, and that he was going to be able to play quarterback at the level that he needed to for them to have success.
Not many people, Ryan Stewart.
They forced it down our throat, Joe.
Yes, and not many people can go out there and succeed with a target on their back. Every time you're looking at Arch Manning, and the team that they're going to be playing, they're going to be playing or try to play their best game. Right. They're going to be prepared for him every single week because why? That's a Manning on the back of his jersey. That's a guy that they hyped up. And when I look at it, Stu, and this is me changing up a little bit, he's an average-looking athlete.
Right.
I mean, he's an average-looking athlete with about a 7 for arm strength. His speed is not electrifying. His make you miss is not there. So
he got the jitters in that pocket, Joe.
Yes, he does.
He ain't comfortable back there.
That's what's so disappointing to me when I watch a guy like Arch Manning. I thought that his footwork would be impeccable. I thought that his anticipation, being in the game, being able to be a game manager, get in and out of good plays or bad plays, I'm not seeing it right now. Now, he can get better. I just thought that for our expectations, he couldn't live up to it. There was just no way.
It's your boys, One Live Stu and Joe Hamilton. This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Originally, we said we would start at 9, so we apologize for the people that may jump on later, may have missed something. You are more than welcome to go back and listen to it in its entirety at another time. That's the blessing of being able to podcast. But Joe and I couldn't do the show early at 12 like we usually do on Wednesday, but we wanted to get this talk in, okay? We wanted to get this work. We wanted to get this work to y'all because there's so much. Before the show came on, we were sitting here talking and preparing for the show. we talked about how amazing the season has been to date, just approaching week 3, but it's been freaking amazing in the NFL and in college. To start the college season off, there were conference games. You got number 1 versus number 3, or number 1 versus number 2, whatever Texas and Ohio was. The games have just been so important. You got incredible NBA battles that have taken place already. So we're planning on going a little long. We're planning on having a good time, and we will be getting to some chat here shortly. As a matter of fact, once we talk about Baker, which we're about to do, we'll pay some bills, and after we pay some bills, we'll come back and we'll get straight into the chat before we get into the next topic, which I believe Joe's going to be talking about, the great Brent Key. As we start with Baker,
the great Brent Key.
Sounds
good.
I mean, and I'm not ashamed to say that to you.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it when the Knicks fired Coach. I was about to say Coach Van Gundy.
No, you took Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. When the Knicks fired Thibodeau, I told everybody that would listen, all I want a coach to do is to get better every year. And if he gets better every year, eventually we'll be where we need to be to compete for all of it.
Absolutely.
And that's what Brent has done. That's what Brent has done. Brent came in a situation that was very, very tough and weathered the storm. While weathering the storm, he found ways to win. But we're going to talk about Brent here in a second. Baker Mayfield's a special talent, Joe.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
As a matter of fact, while you talk, I'm going to pull something up. He's a real football playing Jesse, as you like to say.
Yes.
Here's the other side of week 1, a team that was calling an all players meeting 1 game in. All right. That's not a good sign when that happens. Joe, talk to me about Baker and how he's won over the people.
Changing his life all around, understanding that I have to be a better team player, understanding that I got to get my butt in the film room. I can't worry about so many commercials that he does so well. I can't worry about the Heisman room that he does so well. A lot of those things can distract you. And the reason why I called you when I saw Baker Mayfield game-winning drive, the moxie, there wasn't a doubt in my mind that he was going to go down there and score. And he completely took over. I mean, he's absolutely taking over with his legs, his arm. And dare I say, Stu, Baker Mayfield never sucked. No. Okay, Baker Mayfield was the rookie of the year.
Right.
Baker Mayfield. So now Baker Mayfield in the last 2 years.
Before being the rookie of the year, he was a Heisman winner as well.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So not too many players that win a Heisman suck. Okay.
Right.
They all have shown, if they got Heisman, that they can play some ball. Keep on, Joe. I'm listening.
And when you look at it, it tickled my fancy because this is a comeback story now. I think we can use Baker Mayfield going forward to, if we judge somebody to say they're a bust already, we got to say, not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. Like a Sam Darnold. All right, like a Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones sits right there 2-0 right there with the Indianapolis Colts, and he had to battle for his job early in the season. When we look at some of Justin Fields, he started off one way in Chicago, now he's somewhere else. So the whole bus and putting that label on athletes that early, and especially quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield is showing us we have to hold on a tad bit, because when you get in the right system, when you get the right head coach in Todd Bowles, and when you get the guys in two seasons, that's Dave Canales with the Carolina Panthers, and that's Liam Cohn with the Jacksonville Jaguars, that Baker Mayfield helped those guys get their first head coaching job. So when you look at it, Stu, he's missing his left tackle, his right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, a top 10 offensive tackle. He's missing Godwin, another wide receiver.
He's missing 2 receivers out there.
Yes. So now when you look at Baker Mayfield and what he's doing, I have to give him his flowers. And that's what I'm doing right now, giving him his flowers.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu Ryan Stewart, talking about Baker Mayfield. I want to show you something. As I mentioned before, from time to time, I'll put in a nice wager. Okay, here's a par 3 that I hit on.
Oh.
And I'm only doing 1 par 3 a weekend, but because I won last weekend, I'll be doing 2 this weekend. I'm keeping it simple, not losing a lot of money. But if I do what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to find myself in a position to win. I had 2 dogs. And you mentioned Daniel Jones just now. I'm confident with what I've seen in Daniel Jones. I don't understand why people don't get. You've got some type of talent if you're drafted in the top 10.
Yes.
You've had success with some coach. So there's got to be somebody in the NFL that should be able to relate to you, to be able to get you to do what you did, to shine to the point to be drafted top 10 out of college. So there's got to be a player in you. And for some reason, Daniel Jones is comfortable in Indianapolis. So I bring this back to Baker. My brother saw my parlay like, you got Daniel Jones and Baker. You putting your money, the kids' money. You putting the kids' money on Baker and Daniel Jones? Really? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, because those guys have shown that they can be good quarterbacks. And those guys are both undefeated early in the season. And I saw both of those guys play game 1 this year, and they looked exceptional. Not just good, they looked exceptional.
Sometimes, Stu, we're going to have to be realistic about it as well, because there are Josh Rosens out there.
No doubt. Agreed.
There are Mitchell Trubisky's out there.
Agreed.
That when they got their second opportunity and second chance to get out there and show the world why somebody risked or somebody took a top 10 draft pick on them. So there are those out there, but anytime I can see it, anytime I can see a redemption story, it means a lot to me.
That's what I was going to say. Yes, though there are busts. Oh my gosh, Detroit Lions have had so many of them. There are busts. However, once we see it on this level, which we've seen last season with Baker, we've seen for years. Baker was the reason why Carolina Panthers were winning a few games.
Yes.
Okay, and it wasn't Baker's fault in Cleveland. So when you see it, you know it's there. You know it can translate. You just got to make sure that there's someone that can assist you with allowing it to translate on the field, which there's 2 coaches involved with both of those players that do just that.
Don't you know, man, when I'm talking about Baker Mayfield and just giving me chills right now, Stu, when he was with the Carolina Panthers, he was on the punt team. Do you remember him being with the Rams? You probably don't even.
I do.
Yes.
He took him to the playoffs.
So this guy is a poster child. This guy is something I'm going to tell my son Skyler that plays the quarterback position. Hey, hold your head up. Make sure you're eating that playbook. And not every situation is a situation that's ideal. Right. What can you make out of it? And Baker Mayfield is absolutely doing that.
As I said, on the other side of Baker Mayfield, there's a little bit different of a situation. A team calling a players-only meeting one game on the season. To me, that's not a good sign, Joe. What about to you?
It's never a good sign. What do you have to talk about so early in the season? What did you not see? Whoever called that meeting, whether it's Tua, whether it's Tyreek Hill, whoever called that meeting, we know it's not a coach. What did you see in one game that we have to huddle up, that we don't like it, that we had some trending topics, we had some trending habits that went on in training camp? We had some trending habits that guys weren't accountable. Guys probably were missing meetings and cutting edge and those type things. When you call a players only meeting like that, Stu, you don't have good energy. You don't have good effort. You don't have good teamwork. Guys are playing selfish. Guys are doing worrying about their stats and not playing cohesive enough to say, you do your job, I'm gonna do my job, and that's it. That's how you win as a team. This is alarming. And McDaniel, the head coach, he's on the hot seat right now. But because when you tell an owner or you tell your fan base that we don't like what we see one game in, that's not a good sign.
Look, man, I'm not ashamed to tell you that I've been a part of those meetings in Detroit. I in my 5 years, I probably had 5 or 6 of those meetings. Sometimes they're very, very powerful. Other times, the meeting ends abruptly where someone stands up like, if you Mickey Fickies just play ball, we wouldn't be in this situation. Don't call me in no more damn meetings. I don't care about it turns into one of those situations, man. How do you think this will work out for the Miami Dolphins?
Not good. Not good at all because there's already distractions. And you remember now, number 10, who's an excellent wide receiver in Tyreek Hill.
Agreed.
Last year, what he did in that locker room, last year when he said, trade me, I want out of Miami, I think that lingered. And this year, they stripped the captain away from him. He's no longer a captain. And I think all that plays into the part of one of my best players is not a leader. One of my best players is causing some kind of division in the locker room. I heard it through the grapevine that him and Tua is not seeing eye to eye. That's not a good sign, and that does not equate to wins. Why? Because when push comes to shove, and I have to give you my all, I'm not going to do it because I'm thinking selfishly. I'm not going to lay it all on the line, and that's what I'm seeing from the Dolphins right now.
McDaniel's a good coach. I like him. I think he's a good play caller. I don't know if he's quite the head coach, but there's no reason why this team should be off to the start that they're off to. And you're right. Tyreek is considered a locker room lawyer. Some would say a locker room cancer. And that's not good for the fabric of a team.
Because when you winning, we gloss over those things. Right. It's not a big deal when we winning. And I'll tell you this, man. Nagy, he's the offensive coordinator in the Chiefs right now. Maybe McDaniel. I think of Wade Phillips. Not everybody is cut out to be a head coach. Some people are just coordinators, and that's just facts.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm your boy One Live Stu, Ron Stewart. That's going to be our take right now when it comes to Baker Mayfield and everything that's going on down in Miami. But coming up, as we alluded to a second ago, Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets. Oh my gosh, is Charlotte in our future? y'all do know what happens in Charlotte, right? Is Charlotte in our future? Wait a minute. There's got to be a top 5 sighting in the near future, right? Not top 5.
Gotta be.
Top 25. Wait a minute. Hold on. Could the playoff picture have a Yellow Jacket in it? Y'all keep it locked, man. Joe Ham, Ryan Stewart, in the Huddle with Joe Ham. We'll be back here in a second. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results.
What are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled.
Head coach Brian Kelly of the LSU Tigers down there in Louisiana. This is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Thank y'all for joining us. Again, we have to apologize to everyone because we told the world we'd be here at 9, and we popped on it right at 8 o'clock. So things changed, and we changed with it, but it's fluid.
I love it.
It's fluid. Just came back with Brian Kelly sharing his thoughts and telling folks I don't know what you want from me. We talked about Coach Kelly and how he was on the hot seat this season. He's off to a pretty good start, 2-0. Give me your take on that video, Joe, before we get into the lovely things that's happening in the ATL right now.
A hit dog will holler. That's my take on that, and he's feeling some type of way. And what he does not understand, Stu, he doesn't understand that the LSU faithfuls, the supporters, those guys are fast forwarding to a college football playoffs. Those guys are fast forwarding to being here in Atlanta for the SEC championship game, and they're saying that 20 points in the SEC, 20 points trying to win a national championship is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. It almost reminds me of how Dabo Swinney is going off of his rockers. He's going off of, hey, get rid of me. If you think if you think that somebody can do better, send me on my merry way.
I just wrote that down. I was going to lead right into or segue right into Dabo also being overly aggressive because his team is not doing what it should do. Even though Brian Kelly's 2-0 right now and LSU's finding ways to win, they're not looking like the Nussmeier 45, 50-point leads that we were being told is what we were going to see. You mentioned Dabo Swinney, Joe. How dare he take the and I'm sorry I don't have the sound, y'all. Yeah. How dare he take the mic and say those things that he had to say, making excuses for himself, his coaches, his coaching tactics and antics, and the way his team is playing right now. How dare him, Coach Ham?
How dare he does it? I mean, Cade Klubnik. I mean, where's his talent? I mean, he looks like he's regressed. Dabo Swinney to come off on his fans, to come off on those reporters, beat writers. He's feeling some type of way. And why must you bring Dabo Swinney 10 wins? We're talking about right now. We're talking about 2 games into the season, 3 games into the season, and you are a shell of a team that we thought Clemson was going to be. Shit. Where's your physicality? Where's your ability to have the Jimmies and Joes that when they get off the bus, they have 4 and 5 stars? I did not see that. I did not see that in Stu. And this is somewhat because I'm a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, a die-hard Yellow Jacket. But if we were to play Clemson Tigers 3 more times, we would beat the Clemson Tigers
all 3 times.
I mean, because we were the most physical team.
No question.
I mean, when you got your quarterback carrying that ball 25 times,
right,
and it looked like every time he got up, he was almost like Jim Brown, the late Jim Brown.
Right. But coming right back, the next play, he's right back in your face.
Man, and that defense flying around. When you look at Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, when you look at Chris Weinke, former Heisman Trophy winner, Florida State national champion. All those guys in the room, and Buster Faulkner played quarterback in high school. All those minds, all that creativity to where we're going to look and we're going to say, we're going to show you a lot of eye candy. We're going to show you a lot to where our quarterback can have counters and gap schemes, and we can motion our wide receivers. Remember, the Yellow Jackets lost Eric Singleton Jr.
Right,
and he went to the Auburn Tigers. So you reloaded, and that team is gritty. I say this, man, Coach Key, my former teammate, he made me so proud when he started to talk about toughness. And Stu, we know this generation. If you was to tell anybody, can you explain to me what toughness mean? They'll strictly go to big and strong, and I'm a bully. But no, toughness is mental toughness. Toughness is when the going gets tough, I get tougher. Right. Toughness is doing the little things right. Over and
over again.
That's the toughness that I see when I see a coach, Brent Key, coach football team. And dare I say, with this schedule, you're going to be favored against every team you're going to play, with probably the exception of Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Stadium at the end of the season.
In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm your boy One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Don't forget to catch the 2 Live Stews tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock right here on the same platform, Stewart Media and Entertainment, YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Also on Facebook and Instagram. Why is he so good at home? He's been pretty much good everywhere he plays, on the road and at home. But I was reading some stuff last week about how he's told several people that one of the things that these coaches is how important it is to win home games. And they've been lucky to have top 10, top 15 teams coming here the last few years, and we've been beating them. Tell me why, Joe.
Pride. I mean, you get what you put in and what you emphasize. So last year, the Yellow Jackets went undefeated at home. And this year, you're already starting with 2 wins at home. So this is becoming a home field advantage. You remember when we used to talk about, we didn't have a home field advantage, that most of our fans would sell our tickets when we played, especially when we played the Bulldogs. It's becoming, man, I was down on the flats this past Saturday, and that scene, that all white.
It was thick.
It was very thick, and the belief was there. The belief is there. And why the belief is there, Stu? Because I don't feel, not unless Brent Key wants to go into the National Football League, I don't feel there's one single coaching opportunity that'll open up for Brent Key that he'll leave the Yellow Jackets. It's just not. So everybody feels that that's our guy, and he's instilling a culture, and all he wants to do is win. Now, when I said that to our great friend Dan Witherspoon on Saturday, he corrected me because Brent Key is a native of Alabama.
Right.
So
I just wrote that down. Wait a minute, not so fast, my friend.
Do you want see the thing about it as an athlete, as a competitor? Do you want to join the trip of Alabama and what they've done, winning all the time they've won, or do you want to bring Georgia Tech back to promise? I would want to bring Georgia Tech back to promise. It's been since 1990, right? So I think he's going to have pride in just a turnaround, just the spirit of playing the game of football. Those guys love playing ball, man.
Okay. This is going to derail things for a second, but I think it's worth us going down the rabbit hole and doing it. You're thinking that Brent won't leave, that this is the perfect job for him. I don't think Tech would dig into their pockets, even with the collective the way that it is now. We've got a pretty heavy endowment that's in place. I don't think Tech would dig into the pocket to the tune of $10 to $12 million a year for a coach. That's pretty much the going rate these days.
Well, why do you say that? And I don't necessarily disagree with you, Stu.
Right.
But you have.
Well, they haven't done it in the past.
Well, you have Brent Key winning 11 games. You have Brent Key going to Charlotte and doing it again and again and recruiting. Yeah, it could change. And I'm going to give you an example why I think it can change. Okay. They busted bank for their offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He's making $1.3 million. Before they signed him with that this offseason, I would have never thought we were going to unload all that money for a coordinator. Right. So that shows me that we are trending in a direction that where we're not afraid to keep those guys around. And I don't think Brent Key, and I'm probably totally wrong about this, I don't think he's going to try to bust the bank. Okay. I think he's going to try to get 8-9 million, and maybe, it's not that big of a deal to get 11 million dollars.
This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. This is something that we do a lot, Joe. We often get into our deepest and strongest debates when it comes to the economics of the game.
Yes.
You and I can agree on the X's and the O's. You and I can agree on technique, being right or wrong. You and I can agree on the stats and look at the numbers and look at the box scores and look at the sheet and be like, oh, here's what happened. Here's what happened. We'll do that all day. We know we love ball. But both of us being former players, I think I am the one that tends to look at the business side and the economics of sports on top of the other things. Brent Key just beat Dion in Colorado, and Dion's making $11 million a year. Mm-hmm. Brent Key just beat Dabo Sweetie, who's won a couple titles and who's on the soapbox crying like a biatch. Yeah. Dabo's making more than 12. You can't tell me that with the slate we've got coming in this next 5 to 6 weeks and what we could look like in a month and a half, you can't tell me that in the back of Brent's mind, who's going to end up playing Bill Belichick at some point in time while he's in the ACC and whooping his tail, and Bill's probably making 12. You can't tell me that he don't want to get paid like everybody else in the world wants to.
Very well said. Very well said. Matter of fact, you switched me over, my brother. Very well said, because at some point you want to be valued.
Right.
At some point,
Right.
you're looking at everybody else in these guys. Even Mike Elko at Texas A&M. These guys are making boatloads of money, man.
Right.
Boatloads.
Right.
And now, if I turn around the culture, now if I get my boys graduating and I get my guys playing the ball the right way, competing for championships, they're going to have to reward Brent Key.
It was electric down there this
Electric.
past weekend. I'm in Detroit, and several times my phone would ring with people FaceTiming me saying, "Hey man, look at this here. Look at his hair. Look at his hair." I'm talking to cats that I hadn't talked to in 10, 15 years, and they calling me from Peter's parking deck.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you, and I know you will agree with this. I'm gonna tell you how fickle this game of football is. Brent Key went from possibly being said about him, your time management was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? I mean, you didn't look ready.
Mm-hmm.
To excellent coaching job.
Right.
I mean, to execute that Mayday, and that's what it's called when you don't have any timeouts left, and there's about 15 to 18 seconds left. You jog everybody on there. You get set. That holder already know. That holder already know where he's going to spot it. He's already counted it off. And that preparation went from maybe he missing that field goal and going to overtime, then him executing that way. All that's going to go on his resume as an outstanding coaching job. Outstanding.
In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu. Talk to me about Charlotte before we move on and get into something else. Talk to me about Charlotte. And before we do that, Joe, shouts out to Big John. Let me find your message, Big John. I'm going to show you love when you showing love. Give me 1 second. Shouts out to Big John. We appreciate that, Big John. It helps keep the lights on around here. We're trying to create more programming and bring you more and do more for you. That really helps, man. If a tech school can keep/leverage its tech graduates to be good coaches, you have the wrong people in charge. I understand.
I understand. I totally understand.
And you did kind of correct me talking about the change that has taken place with not just the coaching staff at Georgia Tech, but with the AD. We've got a new, younger generation, and they're doing some things now. So you're right. It could change. And they've got to be in a position where they play the game that has to be played with this NIL and this transfer portal. So I don't see why it couldn't happen. My question is, right now, 2-3 games in, what chance would you give us to get into Charlotte after mentioning the schedule you mentioned a second ago?
70%. 70% because it's real. And let's not, be negative fans. And I'm not talking about you, Stu. I'm just talking about I get the feeling from Tech fans that sometimes we're waiting for something bad to happen. Sometimes we don't really believe what we've seen on that football field. And yes, you and I can certainly talk about Charlotte, but I have so much faith in Chris Weinke that's been there, done that, Brent Key that's been there, done that, won 10 games himself, that they're not going to say anything about Charlotte. Charlotte's not going to be a distraction. Right. It's going to be one game at a time. It's going to be,
Let us talk about that. Let us talk about that.
And I see it, Stu. I see the Josh Petty. Do you know who Josh Petty is?
Yes.
Josh Petty was dry at the end of the game. Josh Petty
left it all in the field.
No, he didn't play.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So right. No, he didn't play. So now you paid him $8 million with NIL money and recruited a 5-star. And that's what I'm saying about the depth of this Georgia Tech football team now that you paid this guy, Josh Petty, and he can't even get on the football field.
Speaking of depth, there was a Haynes that was supposed to be our leading rusher right now. That's not our leading rusher. Our leading rusher is the quarterback, Haynes King. Okay, not the running back that had over 1,000 last year. So that's another spring that hadn't quite been tapped so far this season, because you're not going to keep holding him down the way he's been held down to this point.
And this recipe by Haynes King, 25 carries. I think he had 20 something against Colorado. He can't hold up, Stu.
I agree.
I mean, that's that, and because he's not running 18 and 19 sweep, he's not running to where he can go out of bounds and take less hits. This guy's running counters up in the middle of the field and taking on defensive linemen and linebackers. Now, I wanted to continue, but we got to give the running back the ball. He's a running back, and Haynes King is a quarterback. And I do want to use Haynes King because that's a weapon. But, man, this is a long season.
Listen, man, that's a little bit of the college football talk from us for right now. We're going to jump back into the NFL here after we pay a little bit of bills. Quarterback injuries are starting to really pile up, Ham, and
Man,
I'm really concerned about it, man. I'm going to ask you on the other side, are we really protecting these guys good enough? Is there something else that we should be doing? That's what we'll get into up next in the Huddle with your boy, One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart, and Joe Ham. This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Y'all keep it locked. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. Got to remind the good folks about my good people at Brain IQ and what they're doing for folks that are trusting them with their products and making it happen. Where my music go at? Why is my music not working? What happened? There we go. Golly, I apologize, y'all. It is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. The good folks at Brain IQ have some really good things going on when it comes to making sure that you've got energy in a natural way, making sure you've got a sharper focus in a natural way, making sure you can rest if you have problems sleeping at night in a natural way. And something that I've tried and something that I really like and a lot of people are purchasing, the chocolate chews or caramel chews. All natural, sugar-free, and helping people lose weight. GLP-1 formulated in everything without taking a shot. So if you're looking for a way to get some energy, looking for a way to lose a few pounds, and you want to do it without sticking a needle in your arm, y'all please consider and think about checking out Brain IQ's Chews. That link will be shown again before it's all said and done. You'll be able to see where you can get it from. It's your boy One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. We're back with Joe Ham. A lot of good stuff going on in the world, Joe.
I want to say one thing real fast, and not to go back on Baker Mayfield.
And real quick, before you do that, shouts out to my man Chucktown Frank, if he's still on. This same man messages saying Bub. We call each other Bub, short for Bubba. I don't know if you knew that, but we're from South Carolina. I'm watching In the Huddle with Joe Ham. This is it, Bub. This is the show that will bring lots of hits and takes. Keep putting the mic in front of these power brokers. Joe, you're considered a power broker in this.
My goodness. He said that? Chucktown said that?
Yes, Chucktown said that. and what people don't remember is you've trained coach for years. You played the position at a very high level. You coached the position at a very high level. And now the fruits of your labor are your son that's playing at a very high level. So you know football. Listening to football from you is going to teach and show some people some things that they just may not have understood.
I thought about it when we went to break, Stu, and my mind quickly went to Anthony Richardson. And when we talked about Baker Mayfield earlier, that's who Anthony Richardson should be looking at. He should not say, hey, man, my career in the NFL is over. He shouldn't say, man, I was a top 5 overall pick and I'm a bust. He should look at what Baker Mayfield is doing. He should look at Sam Darnold over there in Seattle. Some of these stories here that these guys were kind of cast off for a second, and they're coming and balling. So Anthony Richardson is not over for you. It's not over. Just continue to work, continue to be prepared, because you never, ever, ever know.
Before we get into the quarterback injuries, man, You just mentioned Sam Darnold, man. And talk about turning a switch on and off. And thinking back, earlier in his days, he wasn't bad. He didn't win many ball games, but he wasn't bad. He just bounced around for a little while, man, and found some coaches that believed in him and put him in a position to have some success, man. Talk about Sam Darnold and what he's doing there in Seattle, man, and how good this team can be because of him. And on the flip side of that, you got Geno in Oakland with my team. I mean,
throwing balloons. Geno
throwing-
Smith is throwing
throwing
balloons.
balloons out there. Talk about Sam Darnold real quick, Joe.
Well, it's all about that. You never ever know about coordinators and head coaches. Will they do what it takes to change their offensive philosophy up? Sam Darnold, everybody tried to make Sam Darnold do what they wanted him to do and not be a dual threat, tough competitor. Sometimes you're going to have to cater your offense to the skill set of your quarterback.
Right.
I mean, you can't ask some of these guys to be doing what they're doing. Geno Smith, why they didn't draft the quarterback? See,
Right.
when you're looking at the Raiders, you put all your chips in the Geno Smith basket, and Geno Smith is a journeyman.
Right.
Geno Smith is a solid football player, but can you push all your chips in and say, this is the guy that's going to lead us? I don't think so, brother. I don't think so.
We need to get a little bit more out of Gentry also. And I say we because I am a Las Vegas Raiders supporter and fan. I've got one team I support. That's the Falcons because we're in Georgia. Those games are the games that I have easy access to.
Right?
If I'm going to visit a game for the weekend, more than likely, instead of getting on the plane, I'm just going to drive the hour and a half right downtown.
Mhm.
But that being said, the Lions are my team. They pay bills around this BITCH, so yeah, they get a lot of love from me. And the Raiders are my team. So the whole quarterback thing could be possibly because this is supposed to be an incredible class last year, and Pete Carroll put a lot of emphasis on getting the running game, and he thought he would get that out of Gentry, so that's why he used that top pick. Gentry hadn't shown up yet, and I think that's part of the reason why Geno might be struggling, but that's neither here nor there. I do wish we had some better energy right now in Las Vegas, but I think we'll be just fine. Talk to me about these quarterbacks when it comes to these injuries, Joe. A lot of them down, a lot of them hurt. Are we protecting them enough? Are we protecting them too much, and maybe that's why they're getting hurt? Give me your thoughts on what's going on with this quarterback pandemic.
Yeah, it is the pandemic. I'm looking here, Joe Burrow. When is he going to come back? In January? I mean, that's a toe. They said 3 months he's going to be out, okay? Justin Fields, he's concussed, all right? J.J. McCarthy, what's going on with him in Minnesota? And he cannot afford it because this is a guy that didn't play at all last year, and now you're going to be missing the bulk of your reps while you're trying to learn on the fly. That's not good for the Minnesota Vikings. Brock Purdy. Okay, we know Brock Purdy is frail a little bit. He's gone. Now, I love the fact that Kyle Shanahan went out and have a backup in Mac Jones, a reliable backup. Do you remember when I said, Stu, to you that what you want from your backup is to go even Stevens?
Right.
If your backup is going to play 4 games, you at least want him to be 2-2. If he's going to play 6 games, you at least want him to be 3-3. All right, and then right the ship, so to speak, until the starter comes back. Jaden Daniels, my brother, with a knee. I think he's already out for Washington this coming weekend. So when you look at some of these things, and I look at Joe Burrow, no, you're not protecting him. No, you're not protecting him. Joe Burrow is in that shotgun 90% of the time.
Right.
So when you're in a shotgun like that, Stu, you can't even have the threat of a running attack. You can't have the threat of play action, doing some things under the center. So that's when I look at Joe Burrow and saying, are y'all doing enough to be able to really, really protect him? And some of that is on Joe Burrow. Remember who Joe Burrow went after, brother. Remember, I didn't hear Joe Burrow say one thing about I need an offensive lineman.
Right.
Joe Burrow bumped for Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow bumped for T. Higgins. And he's going to leave his offensive line in shambles because you can't pay everybody. Now, I understand T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but somewhere down the line, I think Joe Burrow should have been screaming for an offensive lineman. Let one of those guys walk. Let one of those guys walk. And I know that's not easy when you want to throw it all over the lot and you want to be a drop back passer. But when you don't have a running game and they let Joe Mixon go, they let him go, and he was a stud last year. I know he's injured now, but he was a stud with the Texans last year.
He played real good last year.
Yeah, that's showing me who you prioritize as far as offensively.
Burrow being down, you mentioned the importance of having quarterbacks that back people up that can go at least 500. Jake Browning is one of those guys. He's a 500 quarterback when he's been in for Joe Burrow, who has had quite a bit of time in the cooler. This past weekend versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, he went 21 for 32, 241 pounds, had 3 interceptions, but had 2 touchdowns. Is he enough to allow the Cincinnati Bengals to find a way to get into the postseason until they can get back a healthy Joe Burrow?
No, absolutely not. No, and here's the reason why, Stu. And here's the reason why, because you're not going to be able to protect Brownie either. So, I mean, yes, he's a skilled quarterback. Yes, he has potential. I'm not saying he's doo-doo by no means, but your problem still lingers as far as protection in that running game. And he's definitely no Joe Burrow. So I don't think they can go. I don't think they can live up to the Baltimore Ravens. And with this stacked AFC, with that AFC West division, the Baltimore Ravens, when you're talking to these guys now, just shocking the world. I mean, these guys now are being well coached. And I'm looking at it, even the Atlanta Falcons. Don't write the Atlanta Falcons out. Because if you got a quarterback in a running game, you can make some things happen. And the Falcons now are getting after the passer. Falcons are getting after the passer. Now, if you can get after the passer and you can pass, those are 2 good recipes. But I still think the recipe is what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing now.
Don't quote me on this. You just mentioned the Falcons and the pass rush. 6 sacks this past weekend.
Yeah.
6. That's the most that they've had. I believe I read 12 to 15 years. Okay. Yes. That's right around the time since John Abraham has been here. So when you got a pass rush, it changes the game. And while you're mentioning the Falcons, before we move on and get to these Kansas City Chiefs out there in the AFC, when you're mentioning the Falcons, Bijan Robinson is special. That's not a question.
No.
Okay. And Michael Penix Jr. Talk about that quarterback for a second, because I think he's a guy that understands that at a minimum, he just can't give the ball away. If he's got to throw it away, I'll eat a few sacks, fine. But I like the fact that this guy clearly is a game manager who I think will eventually find a way to make 4 to 5 explosive plays per game. Give me a thought.
And what does that mean, Stu? I don't want to get too far ahead of this. But what does that mean? I don't quite see a game manager in Penix. I see that guy flat out that has a lot of snaps under his belt at Washington in college. I see a guy that has control of the offense, that you can open up that playbook. Now, what I do want from his offensive coordinator, he is a dual threat guy.
Right.
He is a dual threat guy. I mean, he can make some hay outside of that pocket. So
let me answer the question.
Yes, sir.
You say what's that mean?
Yeah, I kind of know what it means, but
well, since you asked, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. Okay.
Perfect.
He does have wheels. How come we can't get 35 to 60 yards a week out of him like Jalen Hurts does, like Josh Allen does, like Lamar? Okay, that's another dynamic. If you use that dynamic that you have, you'll find yourself really killing the work that a defense has to put in to stop you. You find yourself with much more open pass options when you throw the ball or drop back. Right now, I say manager, which is not a bad term in my opinion at all. Yeah, right, I say manager because he threw for 135 yards. There's guys that Josh Allen last week threw for 250 and a quarter. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's why I say if you get to a point where a 15-yard run ultimately is an explosive play, you do 2 or 3 of those, you get to a point where you throw in 150 yards for a half, 300 yards for a whole game, and not turning the ball over while still managing it.
That's right.
That's going to make you a much better quarterback.
Well put.
Being a manager is not a bad thing in my opinion, Joe.
No, well put. And check this out. When you look at teams that usually lead the National Football League in rushing, they had a dual threat quarterback. You're thinking of the Baltimore Ravens. You think about Josh Allen. You think about You think about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. Those guys, because of that threat with that quarterback that he can go out of the back door anytime or he can pull it down and run, that adds to your running game. So I know in college he was injured with the shoulder twice and the knee once. So you want to worry about that. But, as far as running him too much, my goodness, man. I mean, you got to try to win ball games. You must try to win ball games.
Here's the question, man. Are the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Life Student Ryan Stewart. Coming up on 9 o'clock, guys. We'll do a little bit after 9. Take some messages like I said we were going to because I read 1 or 2, but we'll do a little bit more. We appreciate you for being here. We are here every Wednesday, typically around noon, but this evening some things changed, so we had to go this evening, and we're here now enjoying ourselves. Let's talk about these Kansas City Chiefs, man. Simple question. Is it over before it even started?
No.
It's still early in the season, Joe, but is it over before it freaking started?
This is why I don't like the position that they're in right now, Stu, because of that AFC West. Because of that AFC West, you got the Chargers right now that they're undefeated. The Broncos are going to be playing good ball. So, and when you look at not just the division that they're in, look at the AFC conference as a whole. There are some ballers in this conference, man. There are some ballers in this conference. So where's Isaiah Pacheco? Where's your running game? Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't consider Patrick Mahomes the dual threat that you and I were just alluding to. Now, he can scramble. His pocket awareness is through the roof. I understand that, but you're not going to run design runs. And I give you another stat real quick, Stu.
Please.
Out of all his rushing yards in which he leads the Kansas City Chiefs in rushing, all of them had been scrambles. So it's nothing called.
Right.
So, I mean, its protection is breaking down. Xavier Worthy, he's going to be back this week. I got to hope that Travis Kelce is getting a little long in the tooth. Every year he's getting older. So my only pushback, can you hold on until Rashee Rice gets back? Rashee Rice is a really good explosive player. Yeah. If you can hold down the fork a little bit and not just be awful, because just thinking, and then one more thing, who fears the Chiefs?
Right. Well, and not only that, very good point. I was going to go a different direction, but it's right around the same lines. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm Ryan Stewart. Who fears the Chief? And there's a competitive division that they're in that AFC West. So there's no pushovers, and they're already down 2 games.
So you have trust. And did the Philadelphia Eagles show a blueprint? Or do you have to have Jimmys and Joes to be able to execute Philadelphia's blueprint?
No one in the NFL the last 2 seasons has ran the ball more effectively and efficiently than the Philadelphia Eagles. We're hearing people continue to talk now about the Eagles possibly trading A.J. Brown to get another DB or a safety back there on that defense because they don't throw the ball to him. He hadn't caught 100 yards worth of balls in 2 games, and he's got 6 catches. He's got 6 catches for like 35 yards. So Jimmy's and Joe's, yes, they have the best line in the NFL, and they protect their quarterback and have success running the ball. Everybody can't do that.
And I was talking about, and you're absolutely correct, but I was talking about the blueprint from how they beat up Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking that blueprint from Jalen Carter and all those boys getting after the passer. If you can show that blueprint, if you can get around, because I've said this to you and I'm going to bring it back up, quarterbacks, I would rather be sacked 5 times in a game as opposed to taking 12 hits. Okay, because when I'm tackled in that pocket, all those hits are not, blind side or hit me on my shoulder. You can soften the blow if somebody tackles you. Right. But when you look at a game and they say that quarterback has been hit 12 to 15 times, that's not good. Because why? He doesn't set his feet. He's going to start getting antsy in that pocket, and those things tell a toll. You're not going to be able to hang in that pocket until the last minute because your body don't want anything to do with it. So Patrick Mahomes now, when you're going down and you're going through it, will you be able to protect him enough? Because we know what they want. It's Super Bowl or bust for them at all costs.
In the Huddle with Joe Ham, you are not a betting man. Most teams can't dig themselves out of an 0-2 hole, Joe. It's very difficult to be 2 games below 500 and fight your way back up to get into a position, even this early in the season, to dominate a conference as tough as the AFC West.
Yes.
If you were a betting man, would you put your money on it that the Chiefs would be one of the playoff teams?
Yes, absolutely. Because I just thought of it too. I just thought about it. 9-8 gets you in.
That's true.
So I do see the Chiefs trying and finding a way to grind and being able to, because of the experience, get me to 9 games.
Right. All right. In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm your boy One Live Stu. Top of the hour. We'll step out for a second, handle a little business, and then we'll come back, jump into the chat, hit 1 or 2 more topics before we get out of here for the night. We appreciate y'all being in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. Don't forget about the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews experience tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Doug and I will be doing some of the same topics, some of the same things. But we'd appreciate you to join us. If you can't catch us live, catch us whenever time allows you. Y'all sit tight, little Brain IQ mission, and we'll be right back. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ. The all-natural weight chews cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. Are you thinking about risky weight loss shots? Pump the brakes on that. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Brain IQ's got some all-natural weight chews. Not only do they taste good, not only are they sugar-free, they are easy to take and they work with your body. Not against it like some of the other GLP-1 products that are out there on the market. So Brain IQ's got this thing set. They're smarter with health, and it starts with smarter choices. Go to brainiq.com/REF/1LifeStew. That's brainiq.com/REF/1LifeStew. Instead of taking that shot, why don't you chew it? Makes it a whole lot easier. Want to welcome Joe Ham back in the building. It is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. And this is your boy Joe Hamilton, college football Hall of Famer himself. All right, we're going to read a little bit of chat, Joe.
Real quick, Stu, real quick.
Yes, please,
quick.
please.
I asked you a question, I think a couple days ago that I need the answer to. You just came from Detroit. From Detroit.
Okay.
And I asked you about those 2 transitional type players that you were able to, take some pictures with.
Right.
Barry Sanders and Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you again, out of those 2 all-time greats, if you had to pick one, a wide receiver or a running back, where are you going with your pick, my friend?
In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, and y'all need to know that Joe will do this from time to time. We like to debate. We like to stump each other, and he's asking me about 2 of my favorite players. Calvin Johnson, y'all, spent some time with him this past weekend in Detroit when Detroit put that foot in the bookies of the Chicago Bears. And before I get into it, Joe, I'm 6'2", 210 pounds. 208 right now. Look at Calvin, man. Look at Calvin, man. I mean, and legit 4'3", and he's probably slimmed down from his playing weight from back in the day. Look at Calvin, man. All right, so your question is, if I could choose one, who am I choosing? Calvin Johnson or former teammate Barry Sanders? This is not a fair question.
I know it's not.
I've got an affinity for both of them. They're both very fond. In my eyes, I I appreciate their contribution to the game that we love more than just about any other players that's ever played, because they are really great. And I've got love for a very good reason for both of them. Calvin being a former Jacket and Barry being a teammate. I got to go Barry.
Woo-wee.
I got to go Barry. And the only reason why I'm probably going Barry is because what you saw on Sundays and Monday nights,
You saw every day in practice.
I saw it every day. and he worked like that every day. Some players take it off. Some players take days off. Some players during the week, they call themselves saving it for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do that. And I had a front row seat to it on Sundays. And I tell people, I saw it on Monday. I saw it on Wednesday. I saw it on Thursday. I saw it on Friday. I saw it on pregame walkthroughs on Saturday before we get on the plane. Only day I didn't see it on was Tuesdays, but we didn't have practice or games on Tuesdays. We were off, but he would still be at the stadium.
Wow.
I didn't see that side of Calvin. Even though to be as great as he was, there has to be something similar there.
Right.
There's got to be some type of work ethic similar to what Barry did and what Barry showed every single day. But I didn't see it. So it's not a knock on Calvin, and I'm not hating on Calvin by not taking him. But I had a front row seat to Barry for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I can't argue with it. I cannot argue with it. The only thing I will say, and that's your list, and I agree with you, I am taking Calvin Johnson, as here's why. Because of the coverage. I mean, he changes everything over there. I mean, he changes the coverages. He changes the looks that you have to pay attention. You remember down the red zone, that guy had two guys on him like they were a gunner. They were in punt formation.
Right.
So, and I know you had to do some different defenses for Barry as well, because he would take it 80 and you had to stack the box. Yeah, I understand that. But you telling about you had to have a safety, a cornerback, and a buzz linebacker buzzing over to Calvin Johnson. And when you have to do that, then it opens up a lot more things that you can do offensively.
In the huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, One Life Student Ryan Stewart, and you mentioned you taking Calvin Johnson over Barry because of the impact that he has at that position. And you're right. Don't forget, back when the Detroit Lions played in the NFC Central, the conference was made up of, or the division was made up of Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, we had the game plan for Randy Moss, and that was the worst practice week of the year for us twice a year, because the coordinators lost their mind trying to figure out how they were going to stop him.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're exactly right. Just about every other play of the game, there's only 11 men on defense. We had 2 to 3 people accounted for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 people to manage, not stop, because you're not stopping him. That's 3 people to manage one guy when there's 10 other guys on the offense.
Man.
So yeah, I get what you're saying when it comes to Calvin. What do you do with 6'5", 245 pounds that runs a 4.3?
And jump out the gym.
You can't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's one reason why I don't understand why they didn't win more with him at Tech and Detroit. You've got to create situational football that makes him a nightmare to defend for your defense.
Nightmare. He was always available.
Never missed any games.
He was always available.
One reason why he retired early, because he was beat up and in pain from playing so much football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. It's in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham.
And I agree with you too with Barry, man. That's good stuff.
I love him.
That's a good story, brother.
Let's see. Okay, Mocha Bella. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mocha. Hey, baby. Good to see you. Till Dog. What up, Ryan Stewart? Appreciate you, Till Dog. John Mickens hollering at Mocha. We appreciate y'all hanging out with the boys, man. Every Wednesday, Joe and I here. Got a pretty good one from Will. Ryan Clark said it best. The Manning kid has not taken many snaps at the college level. He wasn't on the circuit in high school. His high school didn't play big-time programs. Him lining up against Ohio State was the first time he really lined up against a real elite team. He couldn't get the starting job against Quinn Ewers. That's something people don't talk about a lot. And Manning could still develop, but his track record, even in high school, never justified the hype that he was receiving. It was just the Manning name. Your thoughts on Will Benny's message? Appreciate your team.
Yeah, I can't
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I can't add any more to that because I totally agree. I totally agree with it. And when you look at, Arch Manning, what does he do? What does he do real good? I mean, we look at him and he wasn't that highly.
Hey, he's one hell of a quarterback when it comes to handing that ball off to one of them running backs.
See. I mean, so I don't know about him in the meeting room. I don't know about his IQ. I don't. But right now, I'm seeing antsy feet. Right. I'm seeing that he's a wide-eyed guy, and Will was pretty spot on because this guy doesn't have to leave after this year.
Right. He's lucky.
Yeah,
he's lucky. Yeah, he gets another year to show people that he can be a better quarterback than he's being right now because the alleged first runner, the alleged recipient of this year's Heisman is not him. It's just all the quarterback class that we said that is going to be coming out next year. We had Arch Manning in that. Right.
Boy, we're going to have to relive and rethink that.
Yeah.
I don't see a top 10 pick right now.
Yeah, I don't either. Shouts out to you, Eric Tillman. Excellent dialogue. This is next level. We appreciate you, Eric. We're trying to put some stuff on the platform that you guys enjoy and that you guys like. Shouts out to J. Craig Lewis. Laugh aloud. He actually came back and apologized. Talking about Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Did you hear the apology? Appreciate you, Jay Greg. Did you hear the apology?
I absolutely did. And you know what I said when I heard it?
I don't want to hear.
His wife got to him. His mom got to him. Somebody said, listen to you, man. Listen
and I was just about to say, Joe, he heard or saw the press conference himself.
Yes.
And he had to sit there and watch that minute and a half tirade like a kid he had to feel ashamed of himself.
He had to because why he went on that tirade, Stu, is because offense is his baby, right? Brian Kelly, if it was defense they were complaining about, he would not have lost it. No, he wouldn't have lost like that. But when you're talking about his offense, what he calls his baby, he can't have that. He cannot have that.
Right. Big John B., if a tech school can leverage its tech graduates to pay for quality coaches, the wrong people are, we read that one earlier. And you kind of changed my stance on me saying that we probably would never find ourselves in a position to pay a coach 10 to 12 million. Thank you for your you were right. You were right. It's really, at the end of the day, it's wild that this is the case, but at the end of the day, that's about to be the going rate for coaches.
Yeah. And you're going to have proof in the pudding. You're going to have to win something. So I think right now when he goes to Charlotte, if he can make it to Charlotte, and if he can fit in the college football playoffs, that's the real deal. Remember, Stu, we've always at Tech won when we got old. I won as a redshirt junior and a redshirt senior. Now you got Jamal Haynes and Haynes King, and these guys are getting old. So when you got that culture already shifted, and now you can win games. So I think we have to kick the door down in right now when this opportunity presents itself.
Shouts out to the Jungle brother. Yo, Ryan, Joe Ham. What up, Jungle? See you in the morning, King. See you in the morning, King. Julius 35C. Baller to Georgia Tech for beating Clemson and Dabo Luther King. I didn't say that. Nope, I didn't say that. Let's see. It is in the huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. Hey, Deanna, good to see you in here, girl. Shouts out to Loose Neck, Cy. Baker Mayfield got sprung from that Cleveland Browns jail and never looked back. I want to talk to you about that. Thank you for the point, Loose Neck, Cy. Yeah. How do the Cleveland Browns feel seeing the way Baker is playing and he was their first overall pick? How did it feel knowing that they cut bait on him early and since gave Deshaun Watson, who hadn't done anything, $230 $35 million guaranteed. How do the Browns feel about what Baker Mayfield is doing?
Embarrassed. I think embarrassed because why I say that, y'all have not recovered. I mean, remember, this was your overall number one pick. I mean, you wasted a number one pick, and then you had to, cut ties with this guy. And more specifically, I want to talk about Kevin Stefanski. Don't you know that Baker Mayfield won a playoff game against the Steelers with the Browns?
Right.
I mean, he was successful. So all of a sudden, and Baker had to change around some things as well.
Agreed.
Baker changed his diet. He found the Lord. He started doing all those things, and that can only help out with his maturation right now. So that's lovely on him, but they got to feel bad because Deshaun Watson, no. I mean, Flacco came and won a playoff game before,
right.
But now Shador is not ready to play.
No, he's not.
Dylan Gabriel is not ready to play.
He's not.
But you got to depend on a 40-year quarterback. They botched this. They botched this.
They botched this big. Julius 35C, shouts out to you. Player Anthony Richardson needs to learn from a veteran quarterback like Russell Wilson or Mahomes, or dare I say, Julius 35C, and we appreciate the message, maybe Daniel Jones.
Yep.
Maybe Daniel Jones. I don't know why we're so quick to write off Daniel Jones because of his past. I really think y'all need to rethink that. And let me remind y'all and show y'all something real quick. Daniel Jones came up big for me. Convincing win. The Colts are 2-0. Daniel Jones came up big for me. Y'all keep sleeping on Baker. Baker came up big for me.
Who's the backup?
I did not doubt Baker Mayfield in that fourth quarter, driving that team down the field and getting the touchdown. They didn't need a field goal. They needed a touchdown. And I didn't doubt it for 1 second.
I just love it, man, this discussion about quarterbacks. I just love it. Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff, he's on a different team. Right. Hey, you know who the backup to J.J. McCarthy is?
J.J. McCarthy. Yes. He's already played this year when J.J. was out.
Yeah. Mr. Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. So I'm telling you, man, there are a lot of examples if these quarterback wants to find something to say, my job is not over, or I could revive my career. There are a lot of examples out there, brother.
Wentz has won a Super Bowl.
Yes. Well, he was. Yes.
The Philadelphia Eagles, right? Wasn't that him?
No, I mean, that was Nick Foles, but he was on the team. You remember he got injured. He got injured.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how Foles got in. Okay. All right, Joe. Let's finish things up, man. In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. We do appreciate y'all, man. We talked about Holmes and all those things. What's a surprise to you in this year's NFL season to date? And it's early, I don't take anybody's record serious until everybody's played a quarter of the season. The tide can turn for the better. The tide can turn for the worse after a quarter of the season, and a team can change its face and its fate in a matter of a couple of weeks. So give me your take on this season, what you're looking forward to, and then we'll talk about a couple of the games that's coming up this weekend before we get out of here.
All about the Green Bay Packers, Ryan Stewart. All about the Green Bay Packers and their GM Gutekunst. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's all about them. I mean, you're looking at an organization that had 3 quarterbacks in 30 years. I mean, 2 Hall of Famers in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love. He looks like he belongs. So you're telling me that they can draft and they can develop like that? And by the way, when they saw an opportunity to go out and give a generational talent in Michael Parsons, they pulled that and they gave away. Let me tell you about that. Why I say the Green Bay Packers, Stu. Because they think that they're going to be up in all their games. Yeah, they think with that offense they're going to score a lot. So stopping the run game ain't as important when you up. Is you need a generational pass rusher like Michael Parsons, where everybody has to throw, everybody's trying to come back. That's what you need. This team is very well put together. I still have the Philadelphia Eagles being the favorite, what they did last year. But boy, watch out for the Green Bay Packers.
Jordan Love, 292 yards, which is that 300 yards I'm talking about. All the quarterbacks that you just mentioned for the Green Bay Packers, the last 20 years that they've had quarterbacks, all of them can find 250, 275, 300 yards a game. And Jordan Love is doing the exact same thing. People are sleeping on Josh Jacobs and the importance of him.
Right.
As a Raiders fan, I know it's working. I know it's worked well. When you got a defense that can hunt like those guys are going to be hunting, man, they've got to be a part of the mix. I'm very excited about a game coming up this weekend, Joe. And, the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. That game's going to be on Monday. Great game. Give me your thoughts on that game real quick, Joe.
Coach Orr, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and those weapons they have defensively, that's what I want to see. I mean, that's high-powered. That is high-powered football, man. With the weapons that the Detroit Lions are going to present out there, from that two-headed running back to Amara St. Brown,
Right.
to the tight end. I mean, to that offensive line, that's going to be a bloody bath, man. And that's what I like about it. So when you look at what the Baltimore Ravens are built, I know some people like to say, "Man, I don't care about the Ravens in the regular season. Let's fast forward to the postseason and see if they can get over the hump." No, I want to watch all these games. I want to watch the chess match with Todd Monken and all those guys, Lamar Jackson. So it's going to be, what did they say, a slubber knocker. It's going to be a good one. It's going to absolutely be a good one. Now, again, Dan Campbell. Will Dan Campbell be able to survive with his culture? And why I ask that is because
I think this so far this season, I think he's taken less chances than he has in the past. I think he may have learned from the error of his ways last postseason. I think if he does take less chances or be willing to take 3, hell, we went for it on a 4th and 4 this past weekend.
right.
In the red zone. Yeah, we'll see, Joe. You're right.
But I'm looking at the reason why I brought that up, Stu, real quick, because I'm looking at Aaron Glenn and that secondary. That secondary doesn't look as sharp. You know, they were turnover machines last year. They would take the ball away from you. So we're just losing, and he's coaching the DBs up. So those two coordinators being, gone, and I know they did hire from within, in-house, but in-house hiring is a little bit overrated to me.
Right.
You might think that you're going to keep your culture and keep the same playbook, but man, 3rd and 8, that's a different call. 1st and 10, that's a different call. So it's not the same.
We talked about Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. They got a huge win versus Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh last weekend. Final score was 31-17. Darnold 295 yards. And Aaron Rodgers, a day that was similar to Michael Penix Jr., 203 yards, going 18 for 33. However, he only had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Talk to me about Pittsburgh and what you think Aaron Rodgers can do for Pittsburgh or what he won't do for Pittsburgh.
Well, I know you're asking about Aaron Rodgers, and rightfully so, Stu, but I never thought I would see today that a Mike Tomlin coach defense can't not stop anyone. So even though I know Aaron Rodgers is a big story because, the offseason and he's a future Hall of Famer, but I am very disappointed in that defense. They're not physical. And I'm talking about you got this is one of the highest paid defense.
No question.
Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Queen, Highsmith. That defense you paid for it, and I just don't see it. I see a lot of blown coverages. So Aaron Rodgers might be okay, but he can't be okay if that defense is going to give up nosebleeds like that.
They got the Patriots at 1:00 on Sunday. They better get it together because May needs to find a way to win, and we know Vrabel's defense is going to play hard-nosed football. 2 good quarterbacks out there in Philadelphia this weekend, the Rams. And I hate when West Coast teams have to travel all the way over here to the East because that affects the game, as well as when teams on the Eastern go to the West side. What do you think is going to happen in this game, man? I think that the Rams are a better team than some people are thinking. A lot of people are doubting them because of Matthew Stafford not having a lot of time this summer because of his back. Give me your take on that game, Joe.
Puka Nacua, excellent. Offensive coordinator, head coach, excellent. Sean McVay, absolutely excellent. So now you got 2 well-coached teams playing against each other. 2 well-coached teams. And for the Rams' perspective, I think they're going to have a lot on their mind about last year because in that snow game, they were not able to get their footing the way they needed to. And Saquon Barkley ran for I think 215 against them. So I think the chip on the shoulder from the Los Angeles Rams is going to be a lot. But boy, that tush push and the way they get, I mean that just is automatic. So in the trenches, I'm going to always have to go with Jalen Hurts and that offensive line, brother.
In the
But it's
huddle
gonna
with
be
your
a
boy,
good game.
in the huddle with your boy Jahem, you mentioned the tush push. Give me your thoughts on the fuss that's over this tush push. Some people are like, man, leave them cats alone, let them keep pushing on tushes. And some cats are like, pushing on tushes ain't fair and shouldn't be able to be done by everybody. Give me your thoughts on the push tush.
Very simple. Very, very simple. Miss me with it. Miss me with it. You telling me a quarterback sneak you want out of the game of football? I mean, you know how long we've been running quarterback sneak? And now somebody wants it out of football? No. Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. And from the trenches between left guard, center, and right guard, they've built this team for that. You can't take away the skill set of those guys.
No.
And show me when somebody's gotten hurt, Stu. Because they're trying to tell us it's all about safety,
Right.
the player's safety. I'm not seeing anybody get injured on the tush push. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Leave it in the game.
I know there's some pileups that I couldn't imagine being in, and some things probably happening in that pileup that is probably just the thoughts are apprehensible. But no, I haven't seen anybody get hurt.
And did you see that play on the last one where a lot of people said, or it looked like the offensive line was offsides,
Yes.
or they started earlier?
Yep.
That happens, Stu. That
It does.
happens.
All
That
the time.
happens because if I'm going to say turn 44, 989 on 2, when I say blue 84, hot, that first hut, that line is moving. They're not waiting on the last hut, so they're going to always, and that's the whole point of having your cadence and changing your
Right.
cadence up,
Right.
because we get an edge. That's an advantage we can use. So, I mean, there's a lot of crying out there, Stu, and I'm not going to be a part of it.
A lot of crime, man. Fantasy football GOAT strategies. Thinking the Chiefs may trade with the Dolphins for Tyreek Hill again by week 7. I can see that happening.
Ooh,
I can see
that's a good one.
Tyreek may have a little chip on his shoulder, and we appreciate your fantasy football GOAT strategies. The Two Live Stews Fantasy League will take a segment of tomorrow's show. I'll be talking about our fantasy league. I don't know if he's damaged goods or if he's hurt. And I don't know if that's something that they would want to risk putting up with. They need help, though, and maybe Tyreek would be grateful to be back instead of holding a grudge that they let him go. I'm not sure, but Tyreek just left a little bit to be desired, and if he was to come in there with that attitude, that could really be something to destroy the chemistry of that team.
No doubt about it, Stu. He's going to have to swallow that humble pie. He's just tasting it. He's just tasting it now. He's going to have to eat a piece of it, digest it if he wants to be a Kansas City Chief again. I mean, because what he did at the end of last year was unbecoming of the guy with the C on his chest.
Right. In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. We're going to spend a few more minutes with y'all. Julius35C, trying to get through some of these chats. Julius35C says, so is Ryan saying in order to beat the Eagles, you need to jump on them quick to make them go away from the run game? No. That is not what I'm saying. Because I believe in the passing abilities of Jalen Hurts. I know mainstream media tries to make us think that he can't throw the ball down the field, but that's just not true.
That's just not true.
Of the thought process that believes if you can run the ball, that's the safer way to move it down the field. When you throw that football, too many bad things can happen.
What's your take, or how do you feel on the outside looking in?
Appreciate you, Jungle.
At AJ Brown. I mean, what's your thought? I mean, because this is a guy that's got paid. He's paid. This is a guy that, is a Super Bowl champion. And last year, you remember, man, I remember you and Doug talking about it, reading a book on the sideline, doing all those antics. I mean, will he be happy with the number of catches or his input offensively going forward? Because, again, that's a turn-off for me. If a team is 2-0 and 3-0 and I got a disgruntled player because he don't have his numbers, I don't really like that, Stu. I don't really like it.
I don't like it either. I'm hoping that winning will cure all the ails. I'm hoping that he's found himself in a position to be a better teammate and to be thankful for the opportunity to have a ring and to win another. That's what I'm hoping. But if those things don't work out, I get it. He is on the level of a Jamar Chase. He is on the level of of Jefferson. He's on the level of a Tyreek. He is one of the top 5 receivers in the National Football League, in my opinion. So if he wants to go somewhere or wants to get out of there because 6 targets for 40 yards in 2 games is enough for him, I totally understand. And remember this, the other side of the coin that we always often talk about, me more so than you, the economics. When you're making the kind of money he's making, he can make demands and they're going to listen.
Yeah, you just can't make those demands when you're undefeated.
Or can you?
Or can you?
Right. Or can you? Because Howie Roseman, no doubt, would want to make sure that the squeaky oil gets the wheel so the entire locker room doesn't end up just wilting. So, I mean, if A.J. Brown is thinking about getting out of there, now might be the best time for him to start the conversation.
Yeah, because it's all about this. I remember Keyshawn Johnson when I was with the Bucks, and Jaquez Green and Riedel Anthony, Keenan McCardell, and those boys. That dirty dozen, Stu, first 15 scripted, or when that guy, or when your head coach or your offensive coordinator comes in on Wednesday and you're not all over a game plan, or your numbers not looking like it's going to be called, those receivers get a little feel. They get up in their feelings.
No
that
doubt.
they would. Hey, you're not going to target me no more than 3 times at all.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Because around the National Football League, DBs talk smack to wide receivers, and nobody wants to be like get dominated on any given Saturday, no matter who you are. So you on to something, my brother. You on to something.
Shouts out to T. Ladson. Joe Ham, I need to get you back on the links, bub. When last time you played some golf, Joe?
I played 2 months ago in a tournament.
2 months. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I'm not ready.
There with you no time soon.
No.
You know what I've been doing?
Practicing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's done in the dark will come to the light.
So on mornings when we don't have shows, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy Ryan Stewart. We're about to get out of here, y'all. We said we were going to start at 9. We actually started at 8. So we've been around for an hour and a half, and it's been amazing. Let me just say, I mean, we might need to do this late night with no pressure more often, man. I mean, the kids don't start school until 9 o'clock these days. Our school starts at 9. And the wife has to be to school 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock at the latest. So the kids aren't in a rush to wake up and go with her as much anymore. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But when they want me to take them, you know, I wake up, I'm up early, 4:30 anyway, reading stuff and getting ready for the show or just getting some stuff done. When she leaves and the kids don't go with them, I'll make them breakfast, take them to school, and I go straight from dropping them off about 8:30, 8:45 to the range and work on my game for 30, 45 minutes.
My God, yeah, I don't want to see you.
One day a week, all I hit is chips and putts. The next day, I go to the range and swing wedges and 9, maybe 8. The next day, I go out there and I hit long irons. And the next day, I go out there and I work on woods and driver. And then I try to play at least 9 holes weekly. I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks. And Joe,
how's that back holding up? How's the back holding up?
I've been stretching. I do rehab every 2 weeks. I'm slamming water to keep my body hydrated like it's oil. I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. So
yes, sir.
I won't get out there with you no time soon, man, but I want you to get back into it. And it's just as simple as going in the backyard and chipping that thing around a little bit, man.
That's right.
You got it. I saw a net back there too. You can swing into that net.
That's right. No doubt about it.
Okay.
It is football season, though.
It is, man. That's true. That's true. The football is going to take up a bulk of our time. Let's see. T. Lasson, Julia. Yes, that was what needs to happen. Close games come down to Barkley. Yeah, Philadelphia. They're unreal. My Cowboys play KC on Thanksgiving Day. We may have a chance. I agree. Y'all may. To this point. Patrick Mahomes fine. A running game or a running back. Patrick Mahomes fine. Another receiver out there. That thing could change. Jungle Brother. Only organizations where black quarterbacks trade their number one receiver. Philly traded Chris Carter away from the Cunningham. Panthers traded Steve Smith away from Cam. Texans trading D. Hopkins away from Watson. No, it ain't just black quarterbacks that lose their players. That's 3 very good instances, and
Very good,
I
very good.
hadn't done the research to be able to combat that with anything else. But trades happen, not as often as they do in the NBA.
I've been thinking about it that quick time since you talked about AJ Brown. No, he's not a top 10 receiver. Maybe that's for next week. Maybe we'll save it for next week. But I don't think he's a top 10 receiver.
Well, if you're talking about for this year, no, he's not. He's had 2 games with 6 catches. Okay,
because guys like Malik Neighbors, these guys coming on. These guys,
right? Yeah, no question. Yeah, no. But you know what AJ can do. He's just not because the Philadelphia Eagles will not make the passing game or AJ Brown a priority. They run the ball.
Yep.
That's the business they in. They run the ball. It's working for them too. So that's why AJ's got. We know the player that he is. That's why he's got some worth, in my humble opinion. As we get ready to get out of here, y'all, Megatron is a reliant and competent Megatron quarterback, so it has to be Barry. He meant wide receiver.
No, he's saying he's got to be reliant on a competent
quarterback.
QB.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Barry's gonna touch the ball more than him, have more of a chance to have an impact. They were reading stats. In one season, Barry had an average of 9.9 yards per game.
What?
I think it was
but see with Barry now.
What?
hey, see with Barry now, you were there. Let's not take away that Herman Moore had some light boxes too because of his talent.
Right.
So I mean, Johnny Morton. I mean, some of these guys that Barry didn't have scrubs on the outside.
Right. I saw and spent some time with the great Herman Moore, who, I'll be honest with you, was not one of my favorite players when I was there in Detroit. But honestly, we took a little flick together this past weekend.
Yeah.
And we had a little talk, and I think I've decided to
let bygones be bygones.
I decided to let bygones be bygones and lift the beef that I had created within our relationship on my end, not on his, He didn't have no goddamn problem with me. It was me the last 3 decades that had a problem with him. It wasn't him having a problem with me. God is a comedian. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
God is part comedian.
Yes, sir.
I love him. All right. We'll do a couple more before we get out of here, man. We appreciate y'all hanging out with In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. It's been an amazing night.
Man, goodness. We
covered
a lot of topics, man. Yes, we did.
We wasn't rushed. We were just sitting down and enjoying ourselves. We went a little less scripted, but we do appreciate y'all hanging out. Make sure y'all like and share and subscribe for the show. Pass the word about the show. Still a lot of people that don't know about this platform, Stuart Media and Entertainment, that we run through YouTube. So we do appreciate you guys stepping up and showing some love. T. Lasson said Kelly Campbell, a nightmare. That's one of your receivers, wasn't it, Joe?
Absolutely, Kelly Campbell.
Appreciate you, T. Lasson.
Unbelievable.
Is he still in the ATL, Joe? We need to get him on one day.
Yeah, we do. His brother-in-law is Dez.
Right.
That's right.
We talked about that the other day.
And that's what I love so much about playing quarterback and the relationship that I had with my wide receivers. They know about how they practice, whether I was going to give or who I was going to go to with that football. Because 989, that's 2 go routes on the outside.
Right.
And you got number 22 a speedster, and you got number 6 a speedster.
Right.
How do I choose?
That's a lot.
How do you choose? So your relationships in that locker room, in the weight room, in the dorm room, it's going to have to be fine-tuned because wide receivers sometimes are divas.
Yeah, ain't no question about it. Ryan, did Randy Moss throw a hand up on you? Yeah, not on me. I only got burnt by Randy once in my career, but yes, he was averaging 120-something yards a game. Yeah, I mean, and the only reason why he's not my GOAT over Jerry Rice is because on plays where he had no option to get the ball, he wouldn't move. He would stay in the same place.
Did that show up
when you
on film, Stu?
When you stand, it shows on film. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And coaches hate that, so they highlight it.
Yeah.
The minute you see this son of a bitch keep his feet in the same spot when they snap that ball, you bust your ass to get across the field.
Yeah.
You're now instantly knowing that it ain't coming over here. You ain't got nothing to do. You can go and try to help or be a presence someplace else. And for a player to give that up on your offense, that kills up. Man, stop it. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Matter of fact, I might put T.O. in front of him.
No question.
Because of what you're just talking about.
It's Jerry in front of him. We'll talk about the order later. It's Jerry in front of him. It's T.O. in front of him. And it's Megatron in front of him. Part of me wants to put Antonio Brown in front of him, but I'm a Virgo. I hold grudges. And I'm pissed off with how Antonio Brown's been on these streets. So I won't do that. But yeah, then it's Randy Moss. Yeah. Now, he's exceptional, and I would want him, but I would take those guys prior to taking him because I need somebody that's going to work and bust their butt.
Well said, brother. Well said, man. And we saw it too much on film. We saw it absolutely too much, man. Absolutely.
Yep. You being in Tampa, you remember that. Andrew Lawton, Tech should have Joe Boss, a major front man. Does he mean Joe Boss? Since being the only person to lead in the football championship. I think he's saying, and I could be wrong, that Tech should be giving you more props and some love. Ain't nothing but love over there for you at Tech.
Nothing but love. And I didn't win a championship, but boy, I'll take
Last one before we get out of here for the evening, man. Crazy thing is, Quinn Ewers had a year of eligibility left at Texas, but left early because of the fans wanting Manning to play. Ewers, listen, man, he did take the team straight to 2 playoff appearances. What a very good comment, Loose Neck Sai. I appreciate that. And he's right.
Yep.
Arch Manning ran Ewers out of the league, out of Texas.
And he didn't perform. Arch Manning did not perform to run him out. He did not perform. I've never failed for the banana in the tailpipe like I've done Arch Manning. And I said, no, he can turn it around. And I'm not hating. Stu, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm hating.
No,
I'm talking about the footwork. I'm talking about mechanics. It's just not there, sir.
Right. Joker Buzz said Daniel Jones training a young quarterback is like someone with multiple DUIs teaching drivers. You stupid Jungle. Jungle, you stupid.
I'm telling you, hey, Jungle brother, hey, and in December, we used to be saying the same thing. Daniel Jones looked like Shane Steichen. He likes that offense.
And listen, I'm not gonna pound my chest about Daniel Jones like I would about CC or anything like that. But I believe what I see. That's all. And I'm seeing a transformation. And I know there's a coaching staff that is able to transform. You know.
Yeah.
So Stu Throwback 42. Sub Joe Hammond, one last Stu question: with the recent firings at UCLA and Virginia Tech, who has the shortest leash remaining? Thanks. Appreciate you, Stu Throwback 42. That's a great name, man. Nothing but love, man. Peace, King. Yeah. Are you upset that UCLA fired Foster?
No.
Okay, me neither.
No. I mean,
I wish he would have been afforded a little bit more time, especially because that was his institution. He played ball there in college.
There you go.
So I wish he would have. I'm still salty with how Tech has ran Marco Coleman out of town. So I think if you have the testicles to give one of your former greats that job, you got to have the patience and the time to give him also.
Well said. And your boy quit on him. I guess that's going to be next week.
Yeah.
Nico quit on him, man. And I wouldn't say, you know what, Stu? I take that back.
Define that real quick to make sure we're on the same page.
No. I take it back because he did not quit.
Right.
Because I'm very sensitive to mental health. All right, so I'm going to take that back. He's no longer with the team to get his mental right. But boy,
something that we could never do back. We could never do 20 years ago.
No,
we couldn't take a mental break during the season.
No, we kidding. And he's getting highly paid. Gosh. And dare I say, Joey Aguilar is a better quarterback too.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
that's the way I look at this point. I'm very upset that Joey Aguilar and the Tennessee Volunteers did not win that game versus Georgia this past weekend. They had 2 or 3 different opportunities to do so and just didn't do it. That's a
perfect example of you not believing you can win.
Right. I agree. You allow the cross psychology of a team and their history
right
to affect what you ultimately do.
That's right.
I knew good and well he wasn't gonna make that damn field goal at the end of that game. I said he gonna miss this field goal. He ain't ready to be him. He ain't gonna make this field goal.
No. The moment, man. My goodness, man, I wanted them Bulldogs. But don't worry about the Bulldogs. 2 days after Thanksgiving, we'll get a shot.
Joe Ham, outstanding job today, man. I appreciate you, fam. Man, I appreciate you, man. I mean, we've been talking together for the last 2.5 hours, man, and we just did almost a 2-hour show. I appreciate you, man.
Sounds great, man. I'm gonna get something in my belly right now, man. Stu, this was really good, man.
It really was, man. It really was, man. Hey, y'all, that's it for us this week. In the Huddle with Joe Ham, we hit it all. We talked about Baker Mayfield. We talked about every player that's got some injuries. We talked about early player meetings. We talked about Brent Key and the wonderful Yellow Jackets. Shouts out to you, Coach Key. Need anything from me or Joe, man, holler at us. We here for you.
No doubt.
We talked about the Chiefs and that they have the ability to bounce back, which Joe thinks they can, and I don't think they will. I think they're going to take an L this year unless they find some pieces to help Mahomes out in that backfield and out there in those wings. But thanks to none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joe Ham, for bringing that heat, talking about those topics, and making y'all understand from the player's point of view, the quarterback's point of view, and the coach's point of view, everything that we were talking about. Y'all make sure you subscribe. Y'all make sure you share. Y'all come back and catch us next week. But until then, peace and blessings. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love, because that's all he's showing you. Nothing but blessings. Outstanding job, Joe. Appreciate you, player.
Man, that's awesome. 1 minute and 47 seconds, bull. An hour and 47. I mean, my goodness. Time flies, man. All right, man. Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Peace,
yes, sir.